Hi, I'm Amanda and welcome to the Hot Plate. Today we're getting steamy in the kitchen making molten chocolate cakes with a peanut butter filling. We all love our molten lava cakes. I'm drooling just thinking about the one we're about to make because this is not only your favorite chocolate exterior, but we've got a molten, creamy peanut butter center. Think of it as kind of like a gourmet Reeses Cup. We've got 1 stick of unsalted butter that's at room temperature, 6 ounces of chopped dark chocolate, half a cup of granulated sugar, 3 large eggs also at room temperature, a pinch of salt, a 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour, 1 tablespoon of unsalted butter melted, 1 tablespoon of cocoa powder mixed with 1 tablespoon of all-purpose flour, 3 tablespoons of creamy peanut butter, and 1 tablespoon of powdered sugar. We're going to start by preheating our oven to 425 degrees. While the oven preheats, we're going to make our chocolate lava cakes. We have to start by greasing our ramekins to make sure that after the cakes are done baking that they remove easily. We're going to start by brushing them with a little bit of that melted butter and then dusting them with that flour cocoa powder mixture that we have. Make sure to just bang out any of the extra cocoa powder that's left inside the ramekins. We're then going to set those aside and we're going to move over to the chocolate portion of this dish. Now we have a small pot here and it's set over very low heat. We're going to be adding in our butter and our chopped up chocolate, and we're just going to let that melt nice and slowly until it's completely smooth. While that's melting together, we're going to move over to our peanut butter. Now this is our ultimate creamy filling that makes it that oat Reeses Cups feel. And all we have to do for that is combine our peanut butter with the confection sugar or the powdered sugar. Now we do that to make sure that as it gets molten-y in the middle that it stays together and doesn't run out of our cakes. So we're going to stir that completely together and then we're going to set it aside. Our chocolate looks like it's getting nice and smooth, so it's time for our last step, and that means we have to create the batter. Now the batter is only made of our eggs, our granulated sugar, our salt, flour, and our beautiful, beautiful silky chocolate mixture. So in a large glass mixing bowl, we're going to combine our sugar, our salt, and our 3 eggs. And we want to beat those with an electric beater. Now you could use a whisk in this case, but not a fork, because we have to beat this for about 3 minutes until the eggs get really light, fluffy, and a nice pale yellow color. Once that's all beaten together, we're going to grab our ultra silky, decadent chocolate mixture and we're going to drizzle it in just a thin stream. And as we're doing this, we're going to use a rubber spatula and we're going to start to fold in the chocolate. So stirring around the bowl and then up the sides, making sure that all of that air that we caught in those eggs when we were beating them stays in the batter. We want this to be light and fluffy. Once the chocolate's completely combined, you'll see a little bit of a graininess. That's totally fine. We're going to add in our flour and we're going to continue that folding action. Again, we want to make sure that we keep all that air in the batter that we took the time to beat into it. Once our mixture is completely ready, we can lay out our ramekins and we're ready to fill them. To fill the ramekins, start by filling them up 2/3 of the way with batter. Now I like to use just a little measuring cup for this to make sure that I reduce the amount of mess that I have. Then divide that peanut butter filling between each of the ramekins. Create a good sized dollop, probably about a tablespoon per, and just pop it right into the center. Then top up each of the ramekins with the remaining batter. We're now going to transfer the baking sheet with our ramekins into our preheated oven for about 10 to 12 minutes. We want them to cook just long enough that the tops are cracked but that the centers are still slightly jiggly. Once they come out of the oven, we need to plate them up immediately to make sure that the centers are molten. So carefully, either using oven mitts or a dish towel, we're going to hold each of the ramekins and run a sharp, small knife around the edge to loosen them. We're going to start by putting a plate on top of the ramekin carefully using oven mitts and then invert the ramekin onto the plate. Once you're sure that it's loose, you can just pull the ramekin off and you have a beautiful molten lava cake with that creamy peanut butter filling. Our molten cakes are all plated up and I can't wait to get my fork in there. Oh, when you break it open, all of the peanut butter and chocolate just starts oozing out. I need to get a bite of this. Oh my god. best dessert I've had all year. It is so molten-y and creamy and sweet and salty. It puts Reese's Cups to shame. This is the only dessert I'm gonna want all year, and it's so easy to make. Alright, I have to get back to this. Enough with talking. So thanks so much for watching The Hot Plate. Make sure to check out this, all of our other episodes and recipes at thehotplate.com, and updates on our Facebook page, facebook.com/thehotplate.